So in 2017, a new Ninja Turtles game released in the arcades called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How original. It was based on the hit Nickelodeon cartoon released in 2012. This game was actually released the year the 2012 series was about to end. I remember in an interview they said that they were focusing on releasing this game for arcades when someone asked if it was ever going to come to consoles. 7 years later, they finally ported this game, and it's now on the Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X, and I think PC as well. You know, I remember somewhat enjoying this game, but I didn't think it was great. I didn't know what else they could add to this game except for possibly maybe more levels. If I remember Turtles in Time, they added like a few bells and whistles to make it the superior version. Usually the console version of TMNT games are mostly superior, but how does this game fare? Well, first of all, this port is called Wrath of the Mutants. Sure. But anyway, let's jump into this game and see how much better it is than the arcade version. This game features voice acting, which is the same voice cast from the cartoon. Seth Green is the voice of Leonardo, Rob Paulsen is Donatello, who happened to be the original voice of Raphael from the 80s cartoon. Greg Cipes is Michelangelo, the voice actor who played Beast Boy from Teen Titans, and Sean Ashton is Raphael, who you might know as Mike Welsh from the Goonies, and Rudy from the movie Rudy. Now when you start the game, you choose between easy mode and normal mode, and beating normal mode unlocks hard mode. Now if you played a TMNT beat 'em up before, you already know what to expect. You choose between the 4 turtles to beat up bad guys, collect pizza to refill your health, and defeat bosses at the end. Unlike the other games, however, you can now choose between which stage you want to go through first before unlocking the final area. The enemy variety isn't very strong, but it is familiar to the fans of the cartoon. You fight against the Foot, the Krang androids, Mousers, Squirrelanoids. Yeah, Squirrelanoids, giant mutant squirrels that pay homage to Alien, kinda like the Pizza Monsters. In fact, they're this game's version of the Pizza Monsters. Maybe not as memorable, but I would say even more creepier. Wrath of the Mutants is a 3D side-scroller brawler, which leaves a lot more space for you to maneuver around. Unfortunately, the combat is repetitive here, and there's not a lot of varieties in moves. Okay, so you can tell that this game was trying to be like the older Turtle arcade games, particularly Turtles in Time. And I do give them points for trying to replicate some of Turtles in Time's moves, but the transition to 3D just didn't work here. Now, being a modern beat 'em up, there are some new things going for it compared to its predecessors. You'll notice you have a turtle power gauge underneath your health bar, which you can fill up by killing enemies and collecting turtle power shell items. When your gauge is full, you can summon your turtle power to nuke all enemies on screen and do some damage to bosses. Each turtle has their own signature move. Leonardo becomes a twister, Michelangelo splatters pizza, Donatello becomes Zeus, and Raphael causes an earthquake. The game also throws in a few items. There's a shell item which causes the turtle to spin on the shell, similar to the pizza power move from Turtles in Time. There's an item with Metalhead and Leatherhead's face on them which summons either of the two to destroy all baddies on screen, and there's a cooler that summons Ice Cream Kitty. Trust me, the backstory behind this thing is quite disturbing if you've seen the episode. The levels themselves are your standard environments that you see in any Turtles game. New York City is your standard alleyway city level with the occasional parked cars that run you over. Then you have the sewers, which is similar to sewer surfing from Turtles in Time, where you have to fight the Foot while avoiding mutant squirrels, who take place of the Pizza Monsters. Except this is before you explore the underground tunnels on foot. And TCRI is the Krang's hideout. You're mostly fighting through laboratory hallways, but then you get yet another Turtles in Time reference where you find a giant supersized Krang shooting lasers at you. New to the console port are 2 additional levels. There's the amusement park, which aside from a few enemies, looks pretty dour and deserting. Good level aesthetically, though I did get tired of the cardboard ghosts popping up. The other is Dimension X, which looks radically different from the one you're familiar with from the original cartoon. Now as far as the bosses go, similar to TMN3 The Manhattan Project, this game has both bosses and sub-bosses. You fight off against the likes of Bebop, Rocksteady, Chrome Dome, Flybaxter, Stockman, Krang, and Krang Subprime. Although fittingly enough, they moved the latter two to the Dimension X level for the console port when they were originally fought in TCRI. The additional bosses added to Wrath of the Mutants are Tiger Claw, Fish Face, The Creep, and Razor. Once you beat all 5 stages, you unlock the final stage in Shredder where you face off against Karai and then both Shredder and Super Shredder. Oh my god, geez, Saki man, you need to see a surgeon. Super Shredder here looks super disorienting, and that's putting it mildly. Then finally you rescue April, who defeats the Shredder. No. TMNT Wrath of the Mutants is a decent arcade brawler, if not an unremarkable one. Even with the additional add-ons which makes up the $30 price point justifiable, there isn't a lot of replay value. It's not bad and it's fun to play with friends, it's just a perfectly average TMNT beat 'em up. But if you like the 2012 series, it's definitely the best game based on that cartoon, which isn't saying much, but still. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos to come. I will see you guys next time. Booyakasha! It sounded better in my head.